We are. All right. We are on episode 16. Ooh, session 16 of Ultraviolet Grasslands. And we have Epate back with us.
Yay.
Yeah. Welcome back, Agatha. We are down Mike today. So no Phaedrid. So what let's see how we can make this work. We last time were wrapping up stuff at the Behemoth shell discovery, which is called the
Perfect city.
Ideal Island, the city, the floating city there. Um, Adoron and Modon.
Oh
What's up,
yeah.
Agatha? What's been happening for the last little bit?
Wait, sorry, what was that?
What
Wait.
would
Oh,
Modan and Adoron like to catch us up on recent history so we can figure out where we are?
Good question.
Would
So
you like
much has happened.
so? Yes, Agatha, were you going to ask a question? Okay.
no, I'm my connection is a little bit iffy, so I'm just trying really hard to pay attention.
Cool, cool.
But go ahead.
So we last left you off either in the Porcelain City, I think in the Porcelain City, and then we moved back to the Last Serai,
Mhm.
and we set up a base there. So you could either be in Porcelain City or Last Serai at a certain point. Then we moved further west, I guess it is.
Mhm.
And we are currently near a place called the Behemoth Shell, but we're at one of the discoveries, which is a city which Mark can show you the picture of,
Oh yeah.
or place. So we're sort of not in civilization right at the moment, and um, you know the green tower that's at the last Sarai that had all those voices? Well, Adoron sort of slipped into the past and connected with them and is currently cohabitating with them in their mind.
With the voices?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And so what we were going to do this session, except that Mike's not here, is that we have discovered that there is another powerful presence in this place that we're at, and it interfered with the voices when yeah, Mark just put the picture up. It interfered with the voices when we were up in um, the upper dome briefly. It's poisonous, so we left soon, quickly. But so we were going to try and contact the presence that's in this upper dome and see if it could help Adoron. And so the theory was that Phaedra, being a wizard, could maybe help with that. So,
I think we dropped some there, Adoron.
Yeah, yeah. I'm Teal is stuttering for me.
okay.
After contacting the voices, I think was the last thing we heard.
Okay. So there's a there's a presence in the dome that can help Adoron, maybe. And Phaedra was going to help Adoron contact that presence. But since Phaedra's not here, we had to figure out what the relationship is between. And did Epate follow us up here? Because we had some divergences, which made us very slow.
Mhm.
So it'd be very easy to catch up with us. The question is, did you intend to, or is this an accidental meeting?
One thing that might be fun would Modan set up a trade route from the bean farm to the Last Serai, and that should be due. So maybe Apate brought news of the whatever happened there down to where y'all are. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Brought our profits from the bean trade.
Profit
Right.
or
Beans.
news of badness.
Yeah.
Let me find the middle ground rules.
So I had a thought, which is maybe Phaedra decides that he needs to collect some materials, oniric materials, and so we go to the Behemoth shell to collect the oniric materials. Then he can be doing that, and then we could run into Epate at the Behemoth shell and then come back.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Cool. Again. Sweet Modan, would you you did like a middle of the road route, right? Not the safe one, not the aggressive one, right?
That is correct.
Cool. Go ahead and roll me a d20 and let's see what news Apate has for us.
Does any of my skills is come into play here?
Right now, it's just a straight up roll.
5.
A
Ooh.
5. Would you like to use a hero die on this roll?
Oh, speaking of which, those have replaced
Oh, yeah.
by 2, right?
Yeah.
So I'm back up to 3, I think, according to my sheet. I guess it depends on what I'm going for. Is it even possible to make a difference with one die?
Yeah. Everyone is different.
Oh. Yeah, sure. Let's just blow a die right off the bat.
Yeah.
Why not?
Anything but a 1 is going to get you.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Good.
How about a 5?
A 5. Great. So that's a 5 and a 5. That's a 10. Fantastic. Cool. So, Apate, you have news of this caravan here. You invested how much was it? 5,000 or 10,000? I forget. It was 10,000
I don't
to start.
remember. Yeah, I thought we had to have 10,000 to get it set up, and then I'm not sure how that worked with Pookie and all that business.
Yeah. Cool. So, Apate, you have news from the Citadel and a bag full of money. Yeah, hero dice do refresh, so you should have one at least there, right?
They're refreshed by 2, is that right? Up to your max?
2 up to your level. Yeah. So if you're first level, you'll have 1.
But like since I'm 4 and I was down to 1, mine only go up to 3, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's right. Cool. So, you made some profits.
Woo.
You got 12% profit and some nicely patterned fabric samples. So, Apate is rolling up with a bag with 1,200 cash in it for you.
Should I be tracking any of this in the caravan? I'm so afraid of that tab.
Oh yeah.
I know Mike is usually our caravan
I
tracker.
know.
I will add that to the caravan.
I don't ever venture into that tab either. That's Mike's domain.
And so you got a sack full of fabric samples, which are very nice and perhaps trade goods. Who knows?
So that'll just go into the caravan, right?
Yeah, I'll just throw those in the caravan. We have a little bit of spot. Nice fabrics. Oh, and we have a bear with us.
Oh yeah. What
It's a talking bear.
just out of curiosity for the mechanics, because I remember last time talking about how I have this friends skill which allows me to like have friends like pets
Right.
and stuff. What is the difference mechanically, like if a character is my friend versus like Ottokar, who's just an NPC in the caravan?
Friends are basically like pets, the same thing. So those are companions that you can level up.
Okay, right.
And like kind of the same as Mike has the spell book that he can keep a bunch of spells in that he doesn't have to use for slots for. You have the same thing with companions.
Right? So Pate could level up her burrow if
Yeah.
she had a friend.
Wait, what? I can level up my
Yeah, you can level up
Lucinar Dusporco, the donkey.
Yeah, you can just spend XP on them.
Damn, I have a beetle. I have a beetle horse who I've leveled up once, I think. I'm greedy.
Oshika.
Good at foraging.
Keep leveling myself up. hard not to level yourself up. That's the thing about this friend skill. I'm like, between the friends and my pet, I'm like, do I want to be throwing XP everywhere else?
Yeah,
But me?
entourage.
It would be
Why-
very funny if I stayed forever at level 1 and then
Just-
and then Lucinar Dusporco becomes like a god in the ultraviolet grasslands.
I
It
have
could
very
happen.
powerful friends.
definitely happen. Great. So let me write down a note about your profits.
All right, I just threw that 1,200 cash into my cash for now. But
Oh, okay. I added it to the
oh, you put it in a caravan?
caravan there. So if you want to, but if you want to take it personal, like you can definitely do that instead. With-
Yeah, I'll go just because I was at 0.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I'll take it. I mean, but obviously, I know money tends to come and go in and out of the caravan as needed. But for
Awesome.
now, I'll put that 1,200 in my pocket.
Sweet,
or
sweet.
Whatever.
Great. And we are in. Let's see. We are in Orange Month 2 right now. So, and that was your bean delivery there. Great. So yeah, you all meet up at the Behemoth. The Behemoth shell is this big. Let me get a picture of that as well. It is a big old. It looks like a giant conch shell. Very very large Behemoth shell. Behemoth shell. There it is.
Hey, Mark, remind me again what this blessing bead does that we got from the future rat.
Oh yeah.
fish.
That will let you basically succeed on a roll that you failed on.
Okay.
Or if you use all 3 of them, you can level up a stat with them.
Which I think we split them up, or between me, Teal, and
Well,
Mike.
yeah, actually, Adoron doesn't have one. He gave them all away. So
Right.
Ottokar has one, and Phaedra and Modon have one.
Oh, I thought we only had 3 total.
Yeah, there's
We have 3, but Adoron doesn't have his. He gave it to Ottokar.
Oh, okay, got you. Dig it.
He was in a bad mood.
Yeah, that's right. You're all shelled up because of the voices. Note the scale of the tiny, tiny little people and the trees on that shell. I think you all had an apartment rented inside that shell for a little bit. So we can say that is where you are all meeting up.
That was one big snail.
That was a big snail. Yeah, so Epate, any news you would like to have from the road?
I can't. Do you have like something for me to deliver based on the 10 that was rolled?
just that money. So you
Oh, just the money.
yeah, so they set up a bean route between the Last Serai
Yeah.
and the Violet City.
Okay.
That means every X number of weeks we roll to see what happened with it.
Mm.
It was being managed by a cat for you all. So when the profits come in, the cat dispensed money to you and said, "Please take this to Modon."
Come
Okay,
from a humble
cool.
bean farm, and I try to spread word. I'm becoming the biggest bean czar in the land.
Huh, okay.
Now, I want to introduce a sensitive topic, which is, since you weren't playing and I didn't know if you were returning, I shifted the gun over to Modon.
That's right.
Oh, that can
Oh, yeah.
absolutely go back.
So,
I was babysitting it.
yeah,
while we were on the
Modon doesn't
road.
own it,
Yes,
but I
not my
figured
gun.
since Epate wasn't here to tell me about her dreams, I was like, well, okay, I'm borrowing it back.
I mean, I'm fine with it going wherever. It's basically like holding on to a nuke, I think. And I don't feel a particular need to hold on to a
I
nuke.
put it to good use already.
Totally.
Did you now?
We found a pool of silver liquid that attracts Vohm who drink from it, and it encases them.
Right?
And
Yes.
at first, when we first discovered it, it seemed as if when they come out of it, they're healed. But it turns out what actually happens is they look normal and you don't know they're Vohm, but they are. So the silver pool helps Vohm disguise basically and not look like Vohm. And so every time we go, we've been there a few times to pick up silver liquid for people. and there's always like all these encased things around there who have been encased and they're transforming inside or whatever. But now that we knew they were all Vomes that would not be detected by Vome defenses and things, I used the gun and disposed of many of the encased Vome around.
Oh, nice.
And then we
Put
stopped
to
as we
good
got
use.
to like the really big Vome that might not die when I shot them, and like, well, stop now. I got rid of like 2/3 of them, I think.
Yeah, you got a good number of them. Yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I think you deserve to keep that, the weapon. I think, okay, Mark, I would love to bring news of a wedding,
Yeah.
like a wedding that is significant enough to like affect politics and or trade.
Yeah.
I don't know between whom, but that's what I would like to bring.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Wedding. News of a wedding. Um, Interesting. Maybe it is a wedding between someone, a rainbow lander and one of the porcelain princes, the multibodies, which would be
Whoa.
a significant thing. Um, that's a great idea. I love that. Um,
That's wild.
just for luck, can I get a charisma roll from you just to see what the
Yeah.
what the gods say about that wedding?
Okay, so D 20. Okay, so that is a 10 in total.
Yeah. Average news. Yeah. Some people are for it, some people are scandalized by it, but there's definitely a let's see, do I have a good uh someone that you met already?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Let's
This
see.
grid of NPCs.
I know, so many.
Hectic.
Let's see. Who is at the Serai? Um,
So
ooh,
I, oh,
what happened? A couple of the Black Helmet 60,
mhm.
since they're kind of so Black Helmet 60 is the prince, 60 body prince, who is basically the security forces for the princes in the Serai, and they Modon was training with them to train up some fighting skills. But since they are so spread out in the city, sometimes their mental bonds get weakened. So maybe a few of them broke off into their own polybody and decided they wanted to align themselves with an attractive rainbow lander.
That is truly shocking.
That is shocking. So Epate, what is this new prince's name now that it's broken off? Or I can make one up for you if you don't want to make one up. I've got a random generator.
What was the old name?
It
Or
was Black Helmet 60 plurality.
I do not have. I would like you to make it up. I don't know if I can do
Cool.
something as evocative as that.
This is Progress 9 body, then 9 of them broke off.
I know. I don't even really know where to start making up a name in this game. Like, I don't even know what the format / general. I hear you say names. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have never come up with anything like that.
Can they marry Pookie, the cat lord?
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Rainbow Land
Yeah.
rep to Last Serai.
Oh no.
Maybe that's why Pookie sent you to bring the prophets.
Yeah,
bring word of the
and
pending wedding.
Yeah, Pookie's the one in charge
Yeah.
of the caravan.
Yeah, so I'm like, hey,
Guess
hey,
what?
Pookie, we got married.
So that complicates some things because Pookie wants to leave the Last Serai.
Mhm.
Does this mean that the new prince are they going to honeymoon somewhere?
I think that means they're probably well. That's a great question. So
Oh,
we got a middling success on that luck roll there. So that means that probably they are not on super good terms with the rest of the princes there. So, um, yeah, maybe they.
Should I choose someone? Should I choose someone else?
No, absolutely
Oh, all
not.
right, all right.
Uh,
Please wed.
do you think they would be honeymooning back in Violet City, or do you think they went to the Porcelain Citadel or a third secret place?
I like the idea that they went to the Porcelain Citadel.
Great. Cool. So I think Pookie left the business to their orc friend whose name
Mook,
is Mook. Yep.
which is interesting because Mook's also running my pavilion.
Yeah.
And if you want to add a further complexity,
No.
Oh, what is it?
For the complexity.
He froze, telling us the complexity.
It was too complex.
That makes sense. Oh,
what had side conversation with Modon and
sorry,
sorry.
you cut off.
You froze that right after you started telling us. We're so excited.
I heard complexity and then nothing.
Oh, okay. So Modon is working for the prince who is on in charge of Black Helmet. So does Modon receive a secret message somehow to keep a watch out for the new prince that has scandalized society?
Ooh. Modan, what do you think?
Well, it's a good question because I thought I was only really working for them when I was doing the training. Like I didn't think I was still sort of an
Well, but
agent.
remember, you had to deal with whoever is running the prince side of the thing, which was separate from your training with Black Helmet.
Lacquerstone, that's right.
Yeah.
What was the deal I had?
You were supposed to spy on something, but I don't remember what.
That was separate. I thought that was part of my training, or I thought as exchange for my training.
It was in exchange for your training.
Yeah. Oh, Lacquerstone is interested in so Lacquerstone is kind of like the like city manager for the Prince side of the Serai. And they work for the big boss, Angel 22 Unity. And I think they're kind of they're very conservative and kind of want things to go back to the way they were before like things got complicated. I don't remember what the specific deal was though.
Right. So if they are more conservative, then they probably would be against this particular
especially
marriage. Okay.
That means the their security forces are now less.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were like, unless it was like a thing where it's like, oh, we need more info. Let's have you on the surface do something that we don't approve of, but now like you're basically another source of info. Like to have someone who's on the other side technically is helpful in some way. But I guess if they're more conservative, then they probably wouldn't want that.
So my question is, so Phaedrid was assaulted by a small assassin golem when we were at the Last Serai. Is it possible that another tiny golem was sent in the same caravan with Epate and suddenly appears?
I love that.
With Modon in his ear.
Bug. Yeah, or maybe even the same one.
Well, but I had actually employed the one, so I don't know. I don't know if that actually worked though. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, are you interested in that, Heath?
Yeah, sure.
he's just like, wait, you're complexifying my life.
I love it.
Yeah. So I arrive and I say, I got some cash monies. Um, I sling over a bag of cloth samples and I say, hey, guess what? Pookie's married now. Pookie's
Whoa.
a married c- cat lord. Um, and then that bot, I guess, appears to whisper a secret,
Mhm.
a directive, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, Modem, what do you think the message is from Lackerstone?
So Lackerstone is against Pookie's marriage, is that right?
Yeah, because Black Helmet 60 is kind of like bound to them.
Mm.
So yeah, it's like some of their employees ran off.
9 of them, to be precise.
Oh, I don't know. What are you saying to me?
And if you want, we can keep that open and bring it up, make something in the moment when it becomes
Yeah, well, I mean, I was thinking he might. It's kind of. Yeah, I'm not sure because it seems like remedied itself, sort of. Because I was thinking he might be like, this is the type of person you're in business with, but I'm not anymore.
right.
He's not the running the business anymore. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all jiggy, baby. It's butter.
Yeah, I don't think he's like putting a hit out on them or anything. I think it's
No.
just like maybe just like if you hear anything in your travels, let me know because they have kind of left without saying goodbye, kind of.
That's probably good. Yeah. So like, since I was in with Pookie,
Yeah.
maybe Pookie like sends me a postcard from their destination, and it'd be real cool if I could relay that back to him as to where they were honeymooning.
Great. I love everything that just happened. That's amazing. So right now you are holed up at the what you call what's the big word that this place is called? The Behemoth shell. You can rest comfortably in an apartment there, get yourselves orientated, and figure out what you would like to do next. In the meantime, we'll assume Phaedrid can tag along or is in the appropriate spot when they come back. Yeah, so options. You wanted to maybe go back. Oh, so Adoron also has a pull back east because of the voices in uh, the tower, probably. You can press on westward. You can hang out here, look for more discoveries, or anything else.
So I think we need to look for discoveries because Adoran doesn't want to miss the opportunity to see if this other power can help.
Yeah,
And
great.
I need Phaedrid for that. Like we can't proceed on that today.
Cool. Ooh, that's interesting too. Great. So let's spend a week here. Let me get from that. Sweet. Who would like to look for discoveries? Probably Modan, since you got your wanderer stuff going on. Is probably a good bonus for it.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. Let me get a discovery roll from you.
What are we adding? My what?
Your traveler.
Traveler, which is now expert, so that's +6.
Yeah.
An 18.
Cool. An 18. That will get you a discovery. Great. 20 will get you more. So let me see what we got here.
Is that roll modified by an attribute?
No, just straight up. I think the wanderer skill is definitely going to help with that there. Ultraviolet Grasslands, where are you? There you are. Discoveries at the Behemoth shell. Great. Since we are spending a new week here, let's go ahead and make a misfortune roll while we're at it. Who would like to do that? Epate, do you want to make a misfortune roll? It's been a while.
It's just, yeah.
Plain D20.
Just plain D20?
Yep.
Oh, 17.
17. Fantastic. I think that means you are okay.
Oh.
Yep. The imposing mountain-sized calcite corpses remind everyone how small and pitiful they are. Or just, I think, upon arriving to this place, just the scale of this this calcified body of what used to be a giant is just kind of makes you think, doesn't it? Let me roll an encounter for you as well. That is a thing that. Just did that one. Great, that's fine. Wow, interesting. Sweet. So that will be a few of them. I think in the I think as you're kind of going about your week at the shell, you can see it's not too far off. They're kind of like skirting around. There's no formal border, but kind of testing the boundaries of where it is okay to come without danger. You can see pretty clearly there's a pride of like lion ostriches, basically, not bat lions like you found before, but these like two-legged like maned predators. They're like, and they are kind of they're not hostile, but they are feel like they're testing to see how close they can come to the settlement without causing trouble or being attacked. And there's it seems like there's only a few of them, like maybe 3 or so, but you can tell they're probably, especially Mr. Expert Wanderer, like, oh yeah, this is part of a larger pride of lion ostriches are around.
Maybe we should not the secret radiation gun, but maybe we should just like fire off a regular rifle to scare them and let them know, like, hey, ain't cool.
Yeah, you can totally. They will scatter when you do that.
Just to let them know, like, we're not just gonna stand by while you approach and probe.
They probed and they found out, no, thank you. Let's see, what did I get from that one there? So, two. Oh yeah, there's only two. Great. So, the discovery you get is as you're spending time in your I'll take off some money so I don't have to mark supplies for that. You had a little concierge. That's right. What was his name here? D'Hôpital. D'Hôpital, one of the great what do they call themselves? great folk, Dopital, one of the great folk who reside at the giant shell, who's your obsequious and yet condescending concierge. um, Says, "Oh well, if you're looking for things to do here, there is. I mean, you seem like you. I see you came back with a bag of bones from wherever you came back from. If you if you like that kind of thing, there's more of it. There's some crushed shell remains about a day's journey from here. As long as you keep clear of the lion birds, I think you'll be okay. Maybe you can come back with something interesting. Who knows? So, it's kind of like how at like tourist attractions they have sort of like they're like, oh, go fishing for gold or go mining for the little uh oh, look, you found a fossil in this little thing we gave you. It feels like he kind of describes it like that, like, oh yeah, you can go off and when folks come here they like to take a day and like go to the crushed shell and see what they can find. So that's a day off if you want to find that interesting.
I, that sounds peaceful to Adoron.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a day at the beach without water.
um Cool. And the rest of you have a week to do stuff. So if there's any learning you want to do, any healing you want to hang out while you're doing that, what else can you do there?
Yeah,
Search, buy and sell stuff.
how
Corrupt.
does healing work again?
Basically, if you spend the week healing, so you did the discovery, so you're not going to be healing.
Oh, okay, I did discovery. Got you.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, you did the discovery.
Yeah.
So basically, you can spend a week, and that will recover all of your life or
all of it.
one
Okay.
attribute.
Cool.
You can also spend that time to care for someone, which will do the same for them. So if you need healing, someone else could care for you and heal you up. You can also do some studying for a skill. You can do some carousing and see what kind of crazy nightlife there is at the giant. And that's basically spending cash for XP. You could do some market research if you like, buying and selling stuff. Interesting to Adoron or Epate?
Yeah. Do you want healing for Modon?
I mean, I'm fine. I've been at this for quite a long time. This is more like if I had nothing else to do, might as well. But I forgot that making discoveries counts as my action, which is fine.
Okay.
I ain't
Cool.
hurting.
I would love to try to commune with this ginormous shell.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that.
Um, I well, as a pirate mule lawyer, no, no, well, kind of like I feel like, and also because I have so many dreams of the time before, so I see something that is like a physical, such a stark manifestation of the time before,
Yeah.
and it made me feel very small, but it also made me feel very drawn to it. So I feel like this is probably I would probably want to climb to the highest place on this trail, which I assume is there are probably stairs somewhere,
Yeah,
ladders.
it is well inhabited, so it's been
Yeah.
thoroughly dug out and
Yeah, so hopefully I would like to get there without disturbing anyone's homes. And then and I think like on a clear night, I would like to just sit and meditate, reach out to the shell if I can, see if it has anything to impart me, especially like vision wise. And maybe I'll fall asleep there, and maybe I'll dream of something special while that happens.
yeah, give me a roll with aura, please.
Aura, okay. Because that's 17.
17. Ooh, nice. Yes. I think you do fall asleep and you do dream. Um, Love it. So I think it's multi-part. There's immediately so there's like these the area is kind of like hilly cedar slash pine forest, and there are clusters of these trees on the shell as well. I think the dream starts out with kind of these trees like talking to you, and kind of reciting in a chorus like the recent history of the shell, how the great folk came and they made their they buried into the bones burrowed into the bones, and dug out their homes, and the satraps came and claimed it for themselves, but upon claiming it, left it to the great folk who live here. um there are and like the farm is the land is also kind of farmland y, um and you sort of get the impression of like the people living here kind of spreading out and taming the land somewhat. And you get this kind of vision of kind of like moving through these passages, and the passages are also um like weird dream logic, like, oh, you turn into a room and it becomes a field, right? um and yeah, and I think the
Do
yeah,
do I get a vision of what the shell, like the creature that occupied this shell,
yeah, yeah.
like?
And I think the vision kind of rolls back, and before trees, before people, and the bone turns to shell, and then it rises, and it's basically this city-sized crab thing, but with a what looks like a human face. And instead of like pinchy claws, it has like a dozen uh, long arms and legs that kind of push it up. So like it is the shell is in the clouds, and it's not alone there. And this is there are no people of any kind around. This is long, long ago, like before times. And these are, I think you like your dream camera kind of pulls back, and it's like almost like a Jurassic Park dinosaur reveal moment of like these vast things just kind of wandering across the entire grasslands. Um, yeah, this is not a single solitary thing. This was one of many that were there.
Nice, very cool.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and you are far west enough. The nights are it is late spring. The nights are cold but not frigid. But the sun doesn't really come up until because of these the purple mists, the violet mists. It doesn't really come up until about like 11 a.m. Ish time. So like the farther west you go, the later and later the sun rises. Um, and yeah, so I think this dream kind of like brings you into the late morning, early afternoon of the next day as the sun kind of rises over the shell where you are.
Cool. When I wake up, I will sketch out the last thing that I saw in the dreamscape.
Awesome. And take 50 XP for that. I think that's worth that.
Cool.
Yeah, easy.
Oh, I can give it to my donkey
We did the dunk.
friend, my donkey friend, Lucinar. Yeah, maybe Lucinar was with me. Lucinar de Sporco.
Nice.
Take 50. Ah, exciting.
Adoron, what all are you doing during this week?
I think Adoron goes to the seashell uh, tourist site.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you want to do that by yourself, or do you want to go as a group?
Oh, well, I mean, if we're going to go as a group and I can do something else, then uh, um, Adoron will say to Apate, it has been so long since we spent time together. Do you have more dreams to share?
Boy, howdy do I. Um, I'll show you my sketch.
That's very
Look.
interesting. Yes,
Um, I think it's a like it's not like, piece of art, but it's definitely like decent enough for you to tell what it is.
right, right. Is that a giant crab?
Well, hard to say. I don't think biology in the past is the same as how we can define it now.
Adoran raises their hand. I think you could be correct about that.
Yes, it's easy to be correct about a thing that is about how we're not sure about anything. But I was meditating on the top of this beautiful mammoth shell, and I was granted a vision, throwing us so far into the past. And at the end of it, I saw what has kindly granted us its shell now. These creatures, they looked like, well, they had faces like mine, somewhat like yours, and they had limbs. You see, these are limbs, and they were the residents of the grasslands at that point. And yet I do not know what happened to them, to the point where they are all, well, perhaps not all, but all that we are aware of, they seem to have disappeared, unalived.
Were these presidents uh, shaped like humans or otherwise?
Well, their visages resembled humans, but they carried these shells, and then Epate would just kind of pat the floor or the wall, whichever it is, um, and I would say the structure of their bodies is not quite. I wouldn't call them humanoid, but their faces, again, are so similar. They have it's all arranged the same way.
Hmm. Hmm. I shall meditate on this. And
Yes.
what Adoran is going to do is, um, Adoran is going to find a nice blank wall to stare at.
Hmm.
Um, and
Before you do that, though, I think Epate will actually ask you like some like, and friend, we have not spoken in so long. What is new with you? You seem, I wouldn't say distracted, but it seems like you are sometimes listening to something else rather than the current conversation.
I am troubled.
You are troubled. With what?
I had sought to understand the voices in the Green Tower, and through
Ah,
circumstances, I was offered an opportunity to get a much closer awareness of this. So currently, I am sharing uh, my uh, my insights with the
Of the rebuilder.
rebuilder. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. With the rebuilder. The rebuilder is a very unhappy. Um, mm, the rebuilder has a very big ba their personality fills much space. And so, frequently, I am distracted as the rebuilder.
Screams.
But Adoron wouldn't say that. Adoron's like, expresses their discomfort.
Ah.
It is like your dreams, except it doesn't stop.
Well, does the rebuilder have any preferences for things that they like? Anything that can
Um,
appease it?
I don't know yet. At one time, the rebuilder was very powerful and rebuilt things. And then I believe the rebuilder was, what would you say, they were fired from their job, maybe, or some such thing. And so, as some people might do, they were less than they were less than calm about this situation. I am trying to find a way to reach the rebuilder, but so far, the rebuilder just yells at me.
Ah, we would need Phaedra for this. Phaedra.
Phaedra is searching for supplies so that we can talk to another very large person just a few days that away. But while that is happening, I, um, hmm, yes. So sometimes I have to stop, and the screams are overwhelming. Um, but I am going to the beach.
Oh,
Would you like to join me? Modon has said that there is a beach nearby. There is no water; it is gone, but there are shells.
I love beaches. I love the crunch of minerals under my feet.
Would you like to see one of my bones?
Yes.
I
Is
fell
it
into a
yours?
pit full of bones.
Oh, it's someone else's bone.
It's someone else's bone.
I'll take it.
I have several. Oh, here. Yes. They're not very old. They're old, but not very old.
I'll take a bite of it. How does it taste?
It is more pliable than like it's almost like leathery. It's not crunchy and hard like bone would be. It is not clay, but it feels like with some effort you could shape it into something.
Oh.
Fun.
And you got a sack of this stuff.
Would you like some
Oh.
more? I am trying to teach myself crafts, and I was trying to shape chitin, but it's very difficult, and I got a disease from it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you need healing?
No, the disease was cured when the screams started.
Hmm. All right. I I would like more of these bones, actually. I I want to I want to make it into something. It's very exciting.
Fantastic.
I also still have the burdened garbled voices from like a while ago. Do I
Yeah,
still
you do
have
still get
that?
them. Yeah.
Oops. Then I should have had like -1 to all my rolls.
Yeah, that's fine. I think it all worked out still. Good. Um,
Okay.
say anything about the voices to Adoron while you're talking to them?
Sorry, what?
Do you say anything about the voices to Adoron while you're talking to them?
Like the garbled voices?
Yeah.
My head?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Well, it turns out I also hear garbled voices in my head. I don't believe it is to the same effect as yours.
Very
But
exciting.
I would not call them exciting. I would call them intrusive. But
I wonder, would you be willing, and I will say out of character, this could be a change, but would you be willing to share the voices with me?
And I'll reach out and put a hand on where your shoulder should be. You already have voices in your head. Are you sure it would not be too loud?
I don't know. I haven't tried yet.
Let me rephrase my question. If it were to get louder, do you think you will stay sane?
Hmm.
I rather like you as a friend, in your current state. Um, if things were to become overwhelming in a way that would permanently change you, that is not something I wish to see.
I make spikes now.
Let's cut over to Modan. um, so one, I think, evening, when you're in you probably have your own separate chambers that you've rented out. I think there's I don't know if there's doors, but there's that there's a wrapping at the entryway to your little shell nook. And you hear, Modan, Modan, I need help. And you don't recognize the voice.
Who is this?
I need your help.
Okay, who is this?
And a naked man kind of not stumbles, but awkwardly comes into your chamber. I need clothes.
Do I know this person?
You don't recognize them.
How do you know my name?
It's me.
Who's me?
Ottokar.
What? Ottokar?
This happens sometimes. I'm afflicted.
Well, here, do I have, if there's anything around, I have, they'll fit him.
Yeah, he's probably a bit big.
I wear kind of big loose robes anyway, so they're probably pretty.
Definitely cover him up. Yeah. He seems distraught and embarrassed, like chagrined. He's like, I didn't want the others to see me like this.
I mean, not that it matters, just out of curiosity, is this your natural form or just an alternate form?
No, I'm a bear. I think it's when we get too close to the moon, it happens more often.
The moon makes you look like a man.
Yes.
Are you a were-man?
A were-human, yes.
Interesting. I'd only heard legends in the reverse. Usually about wolves, canine beings.
Mm.
So does this usually just last like while there's a
certain
moon phase?
Usually, but it was a risk coming this far west with you. And I knew it would happen sooner or later.
No. Listen, it's fine. You should have just told us. We could have.
I'm so weak and cold.
Well, just stay here until it passes.
Do you have more blankets?
Yes, of course. Have a nap. Do you need some food? Is there something I can do for you? You just want to sleep it off? How does this work?
I feel not hungry, but like I need something, like wanting, like a greed.
Interesting.
I don't feel capable of eating like I normally would, but I would accept something.
Well, make yourself at my home is your home. We are all part of the same caravan.
And he starts like picking up supplies and snuffling around, like trying to this is, I hate it so much. You are all good companions, but I don't know how you tolerate it.
This is fair. We all are only familiar with our own forms, and I'm sure if any of us had to exist in a form that was not what we felt was our natural form, we would feel out of sorts. I take no offense whatsoever. I mean, as much as I'd love to be a bear, I probably wouldn't know what to do with myself if I was one. I'm not used to being, be foreign to me.
Life is so much easier.
I'll bet. I saw the way you climbed that ossified skeleton. Impressive.
How do you hunt like this?
Guns. That's why you'll notice we carry weapons quite often. We don't, not a lot of natural defenses for us humans. Fisticuffs. Not you don't want a fisticuff up generally a prey animal that you're looking to take down for dinner.
No, I do not. Well, thank you for your help and your discretion.
Of course, I do. I mean, if you're going to be traveling with us, which I hope you will, we should bring the others in on this secret as well, so that we can all accommodate you and protect you and make sure that we're in appropriate places when something like this happens and you don't get caught out in the open.
Can I get a charisma roll from you?
Sure. 18 total.
18, fantastic. Yeah, he's like, you're probably right. If I'm to be traveling westward with you, this will probably happen more often. And he goes like he like got a few blankets over himself and is like got a corner and he's like eating greedily, I think. And he's singing like a very like mournful song in a language that you don't recognize. But you imagine it's like something he knew when he was a cub.
I think traveling with us will make your life easier. We can have cover stories ready to go. If this happens on the road, you're just someone we're transporting with the caravan, giving a ride to the next city. We can make life easier for you with this condition.
You're very kind. I would not wish this on my worst enemy.
You found a home with us here.
Great. We are just past the hour, so let's go ahead and take 5, and then we'll go to the beach. How about that?
All right. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a week to do stuff. So yeah,
Okay.
let's go ahead and since Epate is here.
Yes. And Adoron definitely is interested in Epate's dreams and drawings.
Yeah. That's gonna be a thought roll, and you're looking for an 11.
Yep.
What exactly? Is there like an end point to this? What are you looking for?
Well,
After 3, you'll get a skill.
yeah, I will have a skill of Epate's dreams.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Can I get a skill of my dreams? How do I do that? How do I get that?
Practice.
Yeah, just spend a week learning stuff. You can...
Oh.
So the last time we were together, I got 1 point out of 3 to learn the skill, the basic level skill. And since you're back, Adoron absolutely wants to focus on that. One thing I will say too is Adoron's starting to put together a picture of at least some parts of the past. And what you just said about the shell and everything, actually, Adoron's like, so there's this, and there's this other stuff. And another thing that just occurred to Adoron is that Epate is connected to the noosphere. Because Adoron is very not connected to the noosphere. Adoron is very much in the physical, except for the voices, of course. So I have to eat pastry if I want to get close to the noosphere.
The what sphere?
Sort of like astral space or dream space.
Oh.
Except that it might be fantascience, so it could be virtual reality too. It's a little bit uncertain from what I've read.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Sounds good.
But you seem to be connected to it very easily with your dreams and stuff. And Adoron thinks a lot. I have a 4 in thought, but I have no aura and no charisma, so I'm not at all magical so far. And it's so I feel like there are all these things out there in that Phaedra can connect to and that you can connect to. And I can't reach them except by talking with you or Phaedra and learning about your experiences. So
Cool.
I will roll my die. Let's see. Okay. One of those. Let's see what I get. Natural 20 plus my 4.
Ooh, dang.
Whoa.
I think that actually seals the deal then. Let me double check. Um, yeah. Woo, 24. Yeah, so that's gonna get you 2 successes.
Well, excellent.
I was looking up a thing there. I might have something cool for you. No, that's all wizard stuff. Yeah. Cool. So I think so. Here are some things that you learn. So you have that dream skill right now. Um, tell me what it looks like when when you connect with Epate over the dreams. Like what clicks in for you?
Well, like I said, part of it is that Adoron is aware that there are all these realities that they can't touch, but they know they're there. It's sort of like the past, but also different.
Mhm.
And if Epate will allow, Adoron will ask to share some of their nanites with Epate.
Mhm.
Share as in give to Epate and then take it back?
Either take back or just leave in there and form a connection between us. So
Hmm.
the so Modon was being drawn into the past and was losing parts of himself, and Adoron sent some of their nanites into Modon and was able to extract the thing that was pulling Modon into the past, which is how the voices came it screaming into Adoron's head, because that's where it connected for me.
Okay.
So, and also at this point, Adoron is a master at uh, skin like clay. So I can do a lot of stuff with my my fleshiness, but also my like I'm exploring different aspects of my nanite form shaping things.
Okay.
So
Um,
yeah,
sure. Why not?
okay. Now you want me to bring them back afterwards, or do you want to leave them in there?
Mm, we can leave it in there. I feel
Okay,
like that'll be a fun thing for the future.
right, right, okay. So yeah, so with some of the Adoron's nanites in Apate, I imagine that as Apate imagines things and maybe opens themselves up to the nanites, because it's probably by choice. The images, like I can't feel it and I can't reach them, but I can get the images almost like I'm watching a movie
Mhm.
directly into myself, if that makes sense.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Um, the monolith as well.
Yes, yes, I know the monolith is part of it.
Yeah. So so the skill is going to be would you prefer um would you prefer to be able to interact with kind of like noospheric portal things, or would you prefer to use that sort of dream sense to communicate with inanimate but living, maybe non-living things?
I think that Epate is the expert on connecting with things,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Adoron would probably find the portal aspect easier to understand.
Cool. So I'm going to say that that skill resolves into so the things you connect from that connection with Apate's dreams and the monolith specifically. I think it is both the connection you establish with the nanites, and I think your connection with those voices that are nonstop have kind of pushed open the noosphere for you a bit.
Okay.
And so I think the spell, it's going to be essentially the holy diver skill.
Oh, nice.
But you have an intuitive grasp of dream walking and dream portals, and you can spend a life to basically read where a portal is. I will add that note, and you can name it what you like. Yeah, there's that. Cool. But yeah, that definitely like opens something up for you, and definitely like blows out your third eye a little bit.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
yeah, go.
I'm trying to think how this would work. Um, I would like to spend a hero dice to give Apate a roll to like start their skill journey, because I'm going to share back what I understand
Mm-hmm.
to them so they can see their own process from the outside, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think if you spend a hero dice, you don't even need to roll for it because that'll take you up to a 25 at least. And you can donate one of those successes to Apate to get
Okay.
get us 1 out of 3 for whatever that skill is going to be.
Whoa, sick. Is there, well, I don't even know. Is there like a,
What do you think
should it,
that skill will be
should,
called, Adoron?
yeah, what do you think?
Um, I think so. I'm going to make up a concept, which is um, dream anchoring,
Cool.
and you can figure out what you want that to mean. But I
Okay.
think Adoran's able to show you how to anchor your reality and make choices, if that makes any sense.
So dream anchoring 1 out of 3. Fantastic.
And if you want something else, just let me know and we'll come up with something else.
Nah, that's cool. I like it. I don't know what it means, but I like it.
Um, Adoran, I'm also going to need a charisma roll from you as well, or same thing.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess it is the same thing, isn't it? And I just closed the wrong thing. Hold on a second. Let me go find my window. Okay. I have no bonuses, so 16. That's not bad.
As that you feel that opening happening, um, the rebuilders. So right now that there's that forceful. Before it was kind of like batting away at your personality, trying to like overwrite it, basically shoot away. And it has since resolved into more of a like feeling around, like actually, what is this that is not going away?
Yeah.
I think the as you open up that noospheric conduit a bit, um, you actually see
Um,
what you assume must be the rebuilder, and it's just like and a lot like it's almost like a much as the scream is like this elongated face with just an open mouth, and I think it addresses you directly for the first time,
okay.
um, and it's not in a language at all, but it is basically just saying like, who are you, or what are you, or are you a thing, or something like that, but it's actually like addressing you as a being instead of an object.
Right. Um, Adoron will reply. Um, I am a bridge for communication.
And I think you get the it's the feeling of shouting into the wind, like
Yeah.
you know you do that, but it feels like it's you can feel your thoughts and words being kind of like blown right back at you. But there's a connection at least. Modon, I think the next morning you wake up and there's a bear in your apartment. Ottokar is back to normal,
Strangely, as it should be.
as it should be. Waking up with a bear like you do. Um, yeah, and I like he can still talk. Like, thanks you for understanding his situation, his unique situation. It's a terrible curse, but I'm glad I have someone to share it with now. It's been decades of loneliness, and when this happened, I had to hide in one of the Ottokar was found by the wall of the souls, and there was like these niches with feet in them. I think when it happened, he would like hide himself away so be seen. Um, I think you've made him feel a little bit better for that there.
We got your back,
Right,
Ottokar.
So do the rest of us know about this
confirmed
now?
too.
That's Modon, do you want to tell them? I think Ottokar is not going to say anything, but I think he's
Oh.
okay if Modon does.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
with his permission, like I
Yeah.
said, I've done filming just because it'll be easier for us to all work together to, cover for him and stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't want, the rest of the caravan getting caught by surprise when.
It's a weird
Wait,
guy.
why is the bear suddenly a naked man?
No one
I
still getting shot at the camp.
I think Epate is like really excited when they hear about it and they're like, "Oh, wow. Do you think do you think Ottokar would be offended if I were to ask them questions?"
I don't think so. Like, tread lightly only because, Ottokar seems pretty open and not. But this particular, he did seem, sort of embarrassed about this condition a little bit. And felt better that I was accepting of it and willing to help him. I think that made inroads, but I don't think he would mind you asking questions as long as you're delicate about it and aware that it's something he might be a little uncomfortable that happens to him.
Adoron, I think we should ask him questions, considering, you're always changing forms and all that. Maybe
I mean,
we could
that's
all
true. It's kind
we
of
could
a
all
bond
have
you have
a
a little bit.
yeah, an intellectual discussion about how it feels and well, did Ottokar enjoy turning into a human? Didn't it
Oh
seem?
no, he
Oh
doesn't like
no.
it at all.
Oh,
He's not a fan. Does not
then
like
maybe
feels out of sorts when he is human and cold and weird and greedy and hungry and just can't wait to
greedy.
get back to his bear form.
Isn't that fascinating, Adoron?
It is. especially the greed part. I have
Yes.
often wondered why regular humans seem so possessive of things.
Regular humans.
I mean, it's
Modon, are
true.
you possessive of things?
Me?
I mean, if I may
No,
speak, I've
Modon.
witnessed Adoron being. Oh, should you ask me? You
Yeah,
said Modon.
Modon.
Um, I try not to be to particular. I mean, obviously, the world we live in requires commerce. We require supplies and goods and food and clothing and this. So I try to strike that balance of there's a certain amount of we must provide for ourselves. And
Hmm.
that usually requires some kind of give take for goods, money. But as the others in the caravan will tell you, since I only joined lately and in my first time traveling with you, I joined the caravan primarily for the adventure. I'm here for the journey and to
Mm.
see things and experiences. Uh, you know, I come from a bean farm, so that was my opportunity to use those skills to also make money. But my goal is really experience and not the money part is a necessity we must all do to live, but I don't have this big goal to be like rich and live in a palace and sleep on piles of gold or anything.
So you are not greedy.
I try not to
Uh,
be.
I don't know if I am. I have not noticed an urge in myself to collect things yet. But perhaps it's latent.
I do think there's a certain human instinct to it, unfortunately, like that. I do think we have to consciously overcome it, as evidenced by why there's so much crime and why there's robbers on the road who rob caravans and
There are
many.
also. Oh, sorry. No,
Oh, I
finish.
was just going to give many people just they don't. I don't know. I'm sure it's many reasons. Either the situations life has put someone in, or just greed of not wanting to have to give anything in return or work in return, and they just want to just give me stuff so I can just have the stuff and not have to work for it. There's, I'm sure, as many motivations as there are people.
It also does not seem to be limited to humans or rainbow landers,
Mm,
you know.
this is true.
Hmm,
Though to
very
this
interesting.
point, I don't know if I've ever. Well, I mean, I suppose Pookie's a cat, and I don't know if I call him greedy, but he was definitely interested in business and making money.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Good question. I
Hmm.
wonder if you see it as
And
much as in.
the
Yeah.
princess seemed very invested in gathering more bodies. So I suppose that could count as in fact, I would categorize that as greed. Hmm.
Although it is interesting we have this discussion, and yet we are all part of a caravan. It's kind of the point of a caravan is trade. Buy cheap here, sell high over here.
But
Yes, but it does seem like necessity for out of necessity for most of us than a real desire to accumulate wealth. I don't think.
No, it does allow us, again, the adventure. I mean, I could have just stayed on my farm, just farming beans, but I didn't want that life. I didn't want to just live on a bean farm for the rest of my life. I wanted
oh,
to.
Dan, you remind me of the words of a famous poet who said, "They fly across the moon like a butterfly swan."
I'm honored. I'd love to fly across the moon, metaphorically speaking, or even maybe the moon.
I would like to go and talk to Ottokar at some point, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be now.
We can have the conversation on the road. You got a day to hang out.
Road to the beach.
Road to the
To the beach.
Caravan beach party.
yeah, how do you broach the subject with Ottokar?
I think maybe I would lay the foundation first.
Oh,
by
yeah.
telling him that, like, hey, just so you know, like, I talked to Epate and Adoron, and I informed them
Mm.
of the situation,
And they think
uh,
less of me now.
not at all. In fact, they no, no, no. They would love to discuss it with you, though, intellectually, as we obviously we've never known a being quite like you, but they do not think any less of you whatsoever.
Mm.
They want to, same as me, have your best interests at heart, and help protect you and help do whatever you need to feel comfortable here among us. But they did want to know if you'd be comfortable having a discussion about it, so they can ask questions to get to know it better and how they might better also facilitate for you in the future.
They may ask.
You you are free. He is willing to discuss it.
Excellent. Epate will like shuffle over on the caravan. So, Ottokar, has this how long have you had this condition for?
Since I became this, I was 7 years, I think.
Oh.
It's been over 100 years, I believe. I lost track.
Ah, I see. Wow. So, how does it feel to transform?
Painful.
Oh.
Uh, it feels. I feel strange and weak, as if I'm. Uh, as if I'm expelling myself, but I'm not. I just go away. It's
Oh.
the nauseous feeling of having eaten something rotten without the actual physical actions of it.
I see.
Then
Have you ever thought about figuring out your strength and your abilities while you're in human form? Be-
my strength has left me. I
Yes,
hide
but
predators. I try not to be seen.
perhaps in your human form you might have other skills or innate connections, the way that certain humans have, in a way that I was just thinking that it might be, a different set of abilities from your natural form, versus this human state.
If I'm human for a day every moon or so, if what would you expect of a 3 or 4 year old human child?
Oh, do you turn into a 3 or 4 year old human child?
No, but that's the amount of experience I would have in that form.
Mm, right.
The,
Yes.
the pain and nausea and shame and weakness. There's no time for learning or reading, or there's just hiding and eating and praying that this time I won't stick. Every time I I worry that this is the last time. I'll be one of them forever.
Understandable. That would be very frightening. But now that you have us, perhaps we can find something that can help you with the nausea, some sort of, like a ginger or something to help you feel better while you're in that state.
Perhaps it's I'm willing to try, but I don't be disappointed when nothing helps.
Oh, I would not be disappointed. This is this is a very fascinating opportunity
Hmm.
because I'm so used to being a human and I have never had to encounter it from an outside perspective. So everything you say is very intellectually stimulating. I am sorry, of course, that it is such a trial for you. But
Imagine that you're a dreamer,
I
right?
am. Yes.
Imagine that you had a dream that you were more powerful than you could ever be. You were bigger, stronger, wiser, more satisfied with your life. And this dream lasted a year. And then you woke up. You would miss the dream
Presumably, yes.
and you would do whatever you could to find that dream again.
Most likely, yes.
Perhaps that's where that feeling of need comes from. I don't know if it's a natural state of the human, but it can't be satisfied until I return to my true self.
I see. Now, as I am a parrot mule lawyer, if you feel like at any point your rights were breached, and therefore you were cursed in some way by some individual, I am willing to find justice for you on your behalf.
I don't know how long a wizard lives or if you could find them again, but Modon could see what I looked like when I was a man. He was thin and pale and weak. They were so long ago. They my memories of them have been colored by the past, but they don't remind me of the humans that I've met since.
Ooh.
Speaking to you about dreams, there was something about them. They were perhaps one of the vile. It's unclear. They were not like a man I've seen before or since. And in lore, the vile are what folks call elves from the north, who have been extinct for a while. But no one's seen them. They're from long ago, and but there are stories.
Ottokar, you said you were pale. Could you, as if a rainbow lander had lost all their colors?
Yes, as if when one becomes sick and loses all the color in their face.
I am aware of one who is like that, who is, in fact, a biomancer, and it is possible that they might have insight into your condition.
Hmm.
Though they are my friend, and so I would wish them not to be harmed if
I would not eat them. Men are too tough. Anyway,
actually
they're so
I have
scared about it.
bitten humans on occasion, and they seem very soft.
Hmm.
If we travel back in the direction of the Last Serai, perhaps I can arrange um, a chance for you to meet this biomancer.
I would be willing.
They are actually quite an extraordinary person, and like you, they are connected with the past.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm putting this in my notes that I want to help Ottokar
Yeah, yeah.
find whoever cursed him
Fantastic.
and seek justice. Whenever I play again. That's what I want to do.
I love it. Um, cool. Yeah. So after a day's travel, it's pretty clear that you've arrived. Um, it's a you see this crater. You can see from a ways away. It's quite big. It looks almost like there was a large shell that was crushed by a giant hammer. It was like this. There's this like cylindrical indentation in the ground. Um, and there are pieces of Behemoth shell, much like the one that you're staying in, but they have been shattered and scattered into this crater here. Um, it was clearly quite a long time ago, because of the pine thickets of pine trees have grown up around it. There's lower lying like boggy parts within it, but it's not a sheer cliff or anything. It's easy to sort of meander down there. Um, and you do see some great folk kind of they look like I don't want to say prospectors, but yeah, like scavengers, I guess, who are like sifting through the pieces of shell, looking for goodies probably. And one of them does come up and oh, I got a name. Yeah, there we go. Does come up and say, "Oh, travelers, uh, have you come here?" Seeking something or someone? Did anyone send you by any chance?
We have come here to enjoy the beach.
Beach. I suppose you can sit by the bog.
Okay. Adoron will walk that way.
Great. Oh, bye. I'm Diref, one of the great folk here. I can be your guide if you wish, or you're free to rummage around yourself. But very few find chunks of the mallet of heaven. So, if you're lucky, you might. But I could, for a small fee, direct you in that direction.
Um, do, do you have any thoughts, Modon? Or if not, I will. Yes, I would love a guide.
Yes,
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
here but to float along with the river that is this caravan.
I would love a
Happy.
guide.
Of course. Um, 200 cash. I can point you in the direction of a rich vein of mallet metal. Pittance
Are
for
we interested in metal? Epate will turn to Modon. Are we interested in metal?
I mean, everything I suppose can be traded somewhere else. It's always a possibility.
100.
no 200.
120?
Do you want to try and haggle?
Yes.
Yeah, let's haggle.
Yeah.
Um, give me a thought roll.
Okay. A thought roll. Okay, 9, 10. Oh, can I
Do you want
can I add my pirate mule lawyer skill?
I probably not for that.
A lawyer? All right. Fair enough.
You can throw a hero die on there if you want to, though.
Um, sure, why not?
Cool.
So does that mean I re-roll or
That means you roll a d6 and add that to it.
D6? Okay. So that is a 14.
Great. Let's see what the Um, 160. That'll do it.
160.
160. Gleefully takes some cash. Do you have cash? Yeah, cool.
I do. What
Great.
is 906 minus 160?
6 minus 160, 746.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what's his name? Diraf kind of leads you like a little bit back the way you came and away from where um the other great folk are going around. Is like, I've got a secret way over this way. He kind of like leads you along the ridge of the crater a little bit deeper in, away from folks. It's a largish place. It's not giant, but it's yeah, it's like a lake-sized crater, and eventually he brings you over to what looks like it's kind of like within a stand of pine trees, and it's a largish sort of like field of shattered bone and shell, kind of like that has been left under here, and there's like a carpet of pine needles over them. And he says, spend as long as you want here, and I guarantee you'll find you some mallet metal, or double your money back. And he kind of scampers off.
Great.
Let me get a roll from Modon with your traveler skill on there. 12, yeah. You find a couple stones worth of
With traveler, I'd be 18.
18, great. You find 3 stone worth of this, like you spend the day kind of like digging through shells and stuff. Whether he was full of shit or not, who knows. But you do eventually dig up a few chunks of, it looks like it's the same kind of shape and texture as the rest of the shattered shell, but it's kind of it looks like it's melted almost. It's like sort of glassy and hard, whereas the other shell is brittle and soft. This is chunks of the mallet of heaven, and you can grab 3 of those. I'll throw them on the caravan for you. And take 66 XP each. Woo! I'll put it in here. Mallet of heaven. Yeah, that's basically all there is here. I think most of, if you run into any of the other great folk who are here, they scavenge the nice pieces of shell and bring them back, and sell them to travelers as little tchotchkes. Um, it's a living, but
It's a living.
living. But yeah, there's not much else there besides digging around in the shells. Um, I think Modon, with that is a good roll. These, I think, as you kind of like examine these chunks to see what they are, I think you can tell, they're probably worth a little bit of money to someone who might be interested in them. They also, where shell is again like brittle and crumbly, this almost feels like it could be forged or fashioned some way, like metal. Like it's not. It doesn't feel brittle like glass. It feels more. What's the word? Ductile, like metal.
And you said you put it in the caravan. You said it was how many, like 3 chunks? You said, or
3 chunks of it. Yeah, 3 stones basically.
Would that, like, how much is that? Is that enough to say fashion? Enough armor for a person, or just like a helmet, or
like a stone is like this big worth of stuff. So you could probably make a weapon or two out of it, a helmet or a shield or
right.
a wheel. Who knows?
A mask.
A mask. Oh,
You could also use it as an inlay, though. It would
yeah.
be a very interesting inlay in some other piece.
Yeah, you could make a bunch of jewelry out of it. The possibilities are endless.
Set of plates.
Instead of commemorative plates, yeah.
Teacups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This could be your signature teacup.
That's
Ooh,
right.
signature teacup.
Actually, because of the signature rules, that would be very interesting,
Oh
actually.
yeah, I
It
forgot.
would be very much so.
You literally could have a signature item. Put experience into your teacup.
Yeah.
So Adoron, first of all, did wander down to the bog,
Yeah.
and Adoron would be paying attention because I'm a beginning traveler too.
Mhm.
And Adoron would be paying attention to the flows of the water, assuming that if it ever rains or whatever,
Mhm.
that things might be washed down this way.
Mhm.
So there might be random bits of things in the bog. And then if Adoron can't find anything, well, either way, Adoron at some point will move back up to where there are just a bunch of broken shells and sit and contemplate. But can I do an exploration or searching roll in the bog?
Yeah. Let's do it with your new your yeah. Let's do it. Actually, yeah. Let's do it with your thought. I think it's gonna be plus traveler.
Okay, you were going to suggest something else. What were you going to suggest?
I remembered something else wrong, so that was
Oh, okay.
not the thing that you have.
Okay,
Yeah, and we'll wrap it up after this, I think.
sure. Okay, so thought plus traveler. Um, 13.
13. It's I think a lot of it's been picked clean by the scavengers there. I think you can tell that the bog is there not because there's any natural water source, but this is just like where the water collects. It's
Yeah.
kind of foul, and honestly, anything you find in there might if you found something there, it'd probably be pretty nasty and ruined.
Well, then, if that's unsuccessful, Adoron would go back to, like I said, a place where there are a lot of shells and just uh, imagine that they're at the beach and just contemplate the voices. Well, contemplate the rebuilder.
Fantastic. I think that's a lovely image to end up on. Then we'll leave it there. We'll start up next time back at the shell. Cool, awesome. Let's do a round of stars and wishes, and let's start with Agatha. It's been great to have you back.
Oh man, I I'm not ready. Yeah, can we come back to me? I think I need a moment to like think.
Yeah, absolutely. Heath, then.
Yeah, fun session as always. Stars, good. First traveling with Epate, it was fun. Epate's fit right in. Not that I had any doubt. There's a great group of players, great group of characters. Who, yeah, it's just fun that everyone. I don't know. I feel like everyone is so deeply rooted in their character in the best way, and just follows the whims and the fun tendrils to interesting story places. And Adoron's always interesting and fun. It feels like it does feel like a fun little caravan family. And I liked that twist with Ottokar was fun, and I liked it because it was in a way for us. I know X wasn't when we found him. Like, at first when we found him, he was very kind of morose and very Eeyore like, and just like, what does anything even matter? I've been wandering alone so long. Like, well, come with us. It'll be fun. He's like, I don't know. I guess maybe. We convinced him to come with us, and then like he's been very much like, this is y'all are actually nice and care about me. So it's fun to make friends and and then yeah, bonding over that, like, hey man, we got your secret, we'll take care of you, we got your back. So yeah, it was all just real interesting, interesting to play, and always, as always, interesting to just like sit and listen to and watch what happens to.
Yeah.
Um,
Any wishes?
yeah, just still sitting with this unused friend skill. I did wonder. I think one of you, I don't remember if it was Adoron, Mike, or Mark, had mentioned like the possibility of maybe Ottokar could be one of my friends.
Yeah, yeah, and you can
and I can
level
like
him up too.
level him up and stuff too.
Yeah.
Um. But that's really it.
Cool. Sweet. Thank you, Teelan.
Yeah, so I would say stars all around. Agatha, it was great to have you back, and I was very happy about both your dream, which I've been like I wanted to learn more about your dream, but also just how you describe it and what you're doing. And then Mark, the Ottokar thing. Your Ottokar is wonderful. I just love Ottokar, and how you interacted with Modon was great, and I also Modon, you are so like kind and respectful to people that it's just really cool to see. Because that's a tricky situation to be in, and you're just like chill. You just like we're all just friendly here, and no expectations of Ottokar, and at the same time openness to what Ottokar wants to say. So I really appreciate that. Um, this is such a strange game we've got going on, and I know it probably the Ultraviolet Grasslands, like the characters are so non they're so intricate, they're not unidimensional, and our motivations are just so atypical of gaming that I really, just I actually I look forward to Monday every day now because I'm like, oh, I want to get back in and probably see what happens, but also um just experience the calmness of it. This is the most calm game I have ever been in. There's combat, there's potential death, there's screaming of voices, but it's all calm and chill. So, and as far as wishes go, on the one hand, everything's great. On the other hand, I would say, I, Keith, I guess the question is, who do you want to be your friend?
Mm.
Because if you're going to level somebody up, because that's the main function, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, and that's why Ottokar does seem like a good candidate. Because, like,
yeah.
I know he's interesting and he's fun. Like, he is a fun character that would be fun to see level up, So it's not, it is, it's one somebody I actually care about. Is like, oh, I like this character. And then run him around,
Note, Ottokar is currently level 4.
Yes, he's pretty high level.
It takes but get him up.
That's why I gave him the bead too, because when you introduced him, Mark, he immediately had presence.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is somebody. It's very morose, but this is somebody. And he's a great traveling companion because we have a tendency to be a little bit sunshiny, and he sort of counterbalances us a little bit. But yeah, he may not need to be leveled up, but
and I'm always open to whatever,
Yeah.
If Mark has ideas, things to throw, I don't have any specific ideas as far as like, ooh, I want to pull in this thing as my friend, whatever. Because it's kind of, I have like 3 friend slots open.
Yeah. Open to ideas.
Yeah. So do we have friend slots on the sheet?
Not officially. Like it's the same as Mike's spellbook basically thing.
Oh,
yeah, the skill basically is like draw a slot on the back of your sheet
gotcha. Person. Okay. Yeah.
Keeper version 2 will have stuff for that.
Like normally, I think if you got one, it would count as a slot in your inventory or whatever. But my skill allows me to have like 3 friends that don't count against my slots.
It's like a backpack for friends.
Yeah, for friends.
So I guess I have a question of Adoron feels connected to Anise of Star and Basil of Planet
I think so,
to a
yeah.
certain degree, but especially Anise of Star, and then of course Moog.
Mhm.
So should I list them as part of my inventory or
So only if you want to, like, they would be if you want to make them like signature people, right? Which you totally could if you like want to kind of adopt them and
yeah, and I think they're all higher level, so it's not that I'm really trying to raise their level specifically.
yeah.
Okay, I might do that.
Oh,
Um,
just on a side note, I don't know if you said this totally jokingly or not, but I actually really like the idea of you having like a signature teacup item.
oh no, yeah, when so uh, Adoron wants to shift from specifically chitin crafting to more generally crafting,
Cool.
mostly avoiding chitin because he can get sick from it. And I had thought about the crystal, but I also have all these bones and stuff.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff.
Right. And the idea of crafting a tea like a teacup that is my signature teacup and then starting to put experience in it seems very appealing.
Nice.
So I think that's and Adoron will trade something to Modan for some of that hammer of whatever it's
Well,
called.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's
Mm.
caravan goods. It's not
Okay.
like mine.
Oh,
It's
okay.
ours.
Greedy
Um,
humans.
yeah, right. So yeah, if and I didn't want to miss learning more about Apache's dreams, but I will be going back to uh, practicing my crafting in the future.
Awesome. Cool. Agatha, you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, I want a second teal star to Heath for Modan. Yeah, I really liked that the way that Modan handled that conversation with Ottokar as well. I was just thought it was so sweet. This game is so bizarre, but all of the PCs are very sweet and strange in their own ways. So it's always yeah, it's always so nice to return to this game to be like, I mean, I've only played in like what 3 sessions so far, but every time it's just like so sweet, and weird. And yeah, it's star to you, Mark, for always giving us so much space to just make up our own stuff, and then incorporating it back. Like that was so fun. The whole like wedding, and then like its effects
Yeah.
conversation was so funny. I
There will
love
be
that.
more ripple effects as we go along.
Yeah, that was so great. I found that very enjoyable. I also love Teal. I feel like you always come in with like you have so much plot. Um and I really appreciate you like pulling me into your plot. Like I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's a cool thing to engage with." And then it was immediately like so much going on and I like us being able to have like interesting PC to PC interactions. So and thanks for gifting me that 1 out of 3 skill progression. That's fun. Um, yeah, and I love Ottokar. I'm like looking at the safety sheet. And I'm like, can I romance Ottokar? That's my wish for the future. I want to romance him. I'll work on it. So, yeah, whenever I actually return, which it's not going to be for a bit
Yeah,
because of schedule reasons. Sad, but
it happens. We'll be here for a while, I think.
nice.
Cool. Yeah, stars all around, all the usual stuff. It's so like again, I keep saying it, but like there's so many like few bright things in the actual setting. Be like, here's a sentence to about this thing, and we could like spin it out into an entire session. It's so much fun. Y'all just like grab a thing and go for it. And then just like making it like seeing all this stuff through the lenses of these particular characters and just like how stuff like bubbles out and shapes the rest of the world with it. Super cool. Awesome. Anything else before I stop the recording? Cool. Thanks, whoever's watching. We'll see you next time.